Hello once again, Taurus. Would you believe it's 2018? Happy New Year. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au, and here's the chart for your Taurus sun sign, or if you know your lunar sign or your rising sign. This general reading is applicable to you to give you an insight into what's going on. And this is a very, very important year, mainly because we've just seen a recent transit of Saturn into this 9th house of Capricorn. Venus is there as well, along with the Sun, and the long-standing transit of Pluto, which has obviously shaken up a lot of your beliefs. I know a few Taurians who have gone through some radical changes in this last 3 or 4 years. And I suspect if you're born under the sign of the Bull, you'll also be going through these changes. And that word, I know, for Taurus is, change. It is a hard one for Taurus. You know, the fixed signs, Taurus being one of them, do struggle a little bit with what I've found is not so much change. They're able to change, but it's that enforced change. It's where you're cornered and people saying, change, Taurus, change. And you're going, F you, I'm not changing. I'll change in my good time. And that's the key issue here. So as long as you're prepared and open to change and you can do it on your own terms, I think you're going to see this period of your life being very, very significant. Saturn is actually one of your better planets. It rules Capricorn, and in the old school of astrological thought, it has to do with the 10th house. So when a planet rules the 9th and the 10th simultaneously, it takes on a whole new character. It becomes a very, very good planet. And so therefore you mustn't listen to the naysayers who, you know, poor Saturn gets a really bad rap in a lot of astrology books. But the fact of the matter is that that's what refers to it as a natural malefic or naturally negative planet. But temporarily, depending on the sun sign or lunar sign or rising sign, a planet can temporarily become a good planet. And for you, Saturn is a very good planet. Moving into this 9th house is actually quite good for you. And here, transformative Pluto shows us that your belief systems, what it is you hold near and dear as an ideal, is shifting and changing right now. You are experimenting with things, and as I said, as long as you're able to do that in your own good time, then you'll make some big headway this year. Nevertheless, Saturn is a planet of responsibility, and if you were able to look at the introductory video that I've done, I suggest you do that. It will talk about big choices. Now, the 9th house also has to do with where you live in terms of locality. It's a cultural component of life. It indicates foreign places, foreign journeys, higher education, legal matters, along with this 12th house of emigration. We see here Uranus strongly impacting this area of your life. So there are some strong ties between here, the career, long distance places, foreign journeys, foreign belief systems. So there's a lot of new learning going on for you throughout the current year of 2018. And we see here the karmic planets are very powerfully influencing your career and your home life. And that brings me to, and I'm going to punctuate this because we see here on the 31st of January a lunar eclipse taking place here in Leo, your domestic sphere. So some important things will occur in your family life. This brings up a whole lot of new issues, and I dare say that these adjustments that you're making in life generally will focalize here in this 4th house. There's a second eclipse that takes place in August, and we can see from the chart moving around at that time here the conjunction of the Sun with on the nodal axis, and here the marital planet for you, Mars, also ruling this 12th house at that time, bringing with it expenses, changes, and the necessity for a whole lot of communication. Look at the retrograde Mercury at that time. So these two periods, or dates actually, the January 31 lunar eclipse, the August 11 solar eclipse, and then later the important transit out of the 7th house of Jupiter to your 8th house. But maybe I'm jumping the gun there, because Jupiter does remain in your romance and relationship area for most of the year up until November 8. So this is where one can expand one's energies. This Saturn transit is where one contracts, or one has to learn some severe lessons, where there are heavier responsibilities. And along with Pluto, where you need to transform yourself and change. And we've addressed that issue from the 9th house of educational and belief systems. May 16 and November 7 are other important dates where we see this transit of Uranus moving backwards and forwards across your sun sign. So the need to have a stable, change-free sort of life is not something I'm going to predict for you this year, Taurus, because Uranus brings with it a whole lot of topsy-turvy circumstances. I normally say that this is the expect the unexpected transit, and especially with it dominating this angularity of your horoscope. The 1st and 7th house is your marriage, your relationships. So you've already been experiencing some rather tumultuous situations there, and this could get more intense. So you have to stabilize yourself within yourself, not necessarily outside yourself, because often those circumstances are out of your control, and that's, I think, the key issue here throughout 2018. If you can get this inner side of yourself, your belief systems intact, you'll be able to create a bit of a buffer to these outer changes that may be enforced. And then we see the Jupiter transit at the end of the year moving into this 8th house. It will spend another year there. This is going to transform the psychology of the Taurian very, very dramatically in 2019 as well. So you've got 2 big years coming up, not just one. I've given you 2 for the price of 1 in this reading. But if you'd like more detail, I've spent quite a bit of time writing 3,000 words on each of the 12 star signs, and you can get that textual analysis of the next 12 months in every department of your life at the website astrology.com.au. Look forward to your company next month. Hope you're well, have fun, and see you then.